Hello there, gang. Your old chum Devere here, playing a little bit of You Deserve. A horror game, of course. So let's see what we get, shall we? Option-wise. Now, first thing is I've had to set graphics to medium, because anything above that gets pretty poor performance. Sound. We've got some. That's good. That wasn't finished. I think that was everything. Oh, and a language. No rebindable keys. So let's dive on in and get started. Hope my cursor's gone. There we are. I think it thinks it's being deep and meaningful with that. bit of bad news for the developers there. It's not as deep as they think it is. Samus.
Where am I? Did I go to sleep? Is this a dream? But it seems so real.
Yes, we can access our inventory by pressing the tab key. This is just a sort of tutorial bit. Not quite sure why they bothered with this mechanic. It's not very useful, to be honest with you. It doesn't get used very often in the game. And this is just save points. Sure, they could show. But we do have a crouch. And even a sprint. A rarity in horror games these days. No jump, however.
I can't see anybody in this place. How did I get here?
So, first impressions are fairly decent. It's not a stunning looking game, but it's not terrible. I mean, for an 80p game. It gets off to a half decent vibe at least. Controls are fairly smooth, and as I said, the performance, anything above medium.
My fault? What kind of yoke is this?
A yoke indeed, and the yoke is on us. But in your typical horror fashion, we wander around and with some very limited light puzzles. There are a couple of one, I should say. There is one clever puzzle a bit later on in the game. With a few openable drawers. So unfortunately, oh, there's the key. And sometimes these items do move around slightly, but only in a very limited places. It seems to be stuck. Of course it is. But as you can probably tell, it doesn't really add anything particularly shocking to the genre. I believe this is the key for here.
This place, it sounds very familiar to me.
And of course there's all your various notes to pick up. So it gets off to not a bad start, but unfortunately there's quite a few bugs and issues with this game. Other than, as I say, they already mentioned poor performance. There's quite a few various bugs. Let me put the switch. To cut off the gas. It doesn't really add anything to the game. This no help away. Just padding. You can't just like hold it down, have it throw them and pick them up like you do in other games. You have to literally sit here and keep clicking. But performance issues and bugs, that's definitely one big area where this game fails quite badly. Ooh, spooky.
What was that?
In fact, there's quite a few bugs in this game. Mr. Tiddles.
What the fuck is happening in this place?
What have you been drinking, Mr. Tiddles? You fell over. Randomly. So according to the developers, this is supposed to be raising awareness about the seriousness of bullying. I think that's just a fairly lame excuse, to be honest with you, 'cause it's a very predictable story. And as I was discussing, yes, the bugs and issues, especially later on in the... You get to a part in this house. Oh my dear. The amount of times I had to restart that level was just shocking. Because of the amount of bugs and glitches and triggers that wouldn't activate. See, there's a restart level there. You will need it. But yes, the developers, this is supposed to be about... about bullying, and it just seems like a fairly cheap excuse to me to rerun a very predictable story. It's not the worst looking game, but unfortunately it's just tedious, if I'm being all honest. There was one good puzzle later on. It was actually quite clever, but most of it's down to find key, unlock door. There's not a great amount of heavy lifting puzzles, that's for sure. This just doesn't really have... Yeah, and it attempts to do jump scares like that at you. Oh dear. And that's one of the very few attempts at scares. It's just such... I know it's only 80 pence, but this is just such a dull game. The pacing is tedious. There's very little ever happens. Not really happening. Come on, pick it up. That's better. It certainly doesn't really add anything new to the formula, as you can see so far. And I'm not actually going to get around to completing this game either. That's the other thing. And I'll show you why. I'm going to use the magic of video editing. And I'll cut into the... I'm really nearly at the end of the game. And I'll show you for why. The absolute boredom finally got to me.
I feel someone is trying to get in touch with me. Although it sounds very familiar, I cannot recognize it.
I quite like the voice acting though, in all fairness. Come to me. It's a slightly bit of a cumbersome system. Left click to interact with things, but right click to pick things up. Some things go in your inventory, some things you carry in your hand like this. It's just very, very bizarre in that respect. Was we done down here? There was another door somewhere, wasn't there? Because it is a very linear game. So yes, I don't think this game really is in any way, shape or form doing anything to address the serious issue of bullying. That's for sure.
What the fuck was that?
Well, the one thing it wasn't is scary. Oh, I need a key. Oh, right. Where did I need to go? Have we been this way? Oh, that is down. So, yes, I think what we'll do is we'll use the magic of video editing. And we'll cut to the end where I got to. I'll explain as to why I'm not going to finish the game there. It really is just a lack of fear. This is just more plodding than anything. I guess I should have looked more of this in somewhere. Is there a drawer or something here? Ah, probably these maybe. Or maybe not. We came this way, went down there. Can't remember what I needed this candle for, to be honest with you. That was the other side of where we were. Yeah, you do get a bit lost here and there. Come back this way. Oh well, it doesn't particularly matter. I mean, you've seen this kind of stuff before in these games. It's not particularly shocking. Not anything new to the formula. As you see, there's just nothing happening. Sort of fairly repetitive sound files going on and on. And we need to find another way. And it's not particularly brightly lit. I don't know why they bothered picking up there. That's what we needed the key for. Yes, I'll use the magic of video editing here. We'll cut to the end scene and I'll explain to you as to why I'm not even going to bother finishing it. And why even for 80 pence, other than the amount of bugs I've mentioned, this game really just doesn't tick that many boxes, to be honest with you. So I shall see you for the end game. So this is the final zone that I got up to. Oh, excellent. We just fell through the map. Okay, let's just use the restart level again. As I said, you're going to need this a lot. Alright, let's have another go. Hey, success. Yes, this is the final area. As you can see, that hasn't reset the goals at all. When you first play it, you won't have any of those. You'll only have the first 4 goals, and those 2 key ones pop up. And I've got to run round this big, bland, massive morassed area. Samey looking trees, samey looking pathways. Looking for those 6 items. And there's somewhere around there's the ghost woman trying to hunt me, I think. But has all the fear factor of a box of kittens, in all honesty. So this was as far as I got in the game. I think it's really near the end, but not going to see the ending because I am not. This area is absolutely massive, and so far in all this running around, I've not found a single one of those items. Not a single bloody one. So I'm going to guess it as you find one item, another one appears somewhere else, so you're going to have to keep backtracking and backtracking. This is absolutely nothing but padding out the playtime. In this dull, grey, grimy environment. That irritating drone going on with the audio. Is this something to look down at these? No idea. No idea at all. So yes, this is where I got to. I'm not joking, this area is massive. Oh, see now that little... There we go. See, I'm not at all scared. No matter what the dramatic music tells me. So I'll just keep running and it'll eventually lose interest, or I will. Is the more honest likelihood. There we go. Fear incarnate. Good Lord. So yes, gang, this is where we shall definitely conclude our dealings. You deserve... You deserve what? A better game than this? For sure. I'd like to say it was a brave first attempt. I mean, graphics aren't too bad. There's no fear. There's no horror. Just, as I said, just this massive, blank, endless park with these 6 items to find. And that was, this is as far as I'm going with this game. really not going to waste another moment on it. So anyway, gang, we'll conclude our dealings here. This was You Deserve. An interesting first attempt, perhaps, but very flawed first attempt. And you saw that grainy filter effect as well when the zombie thing or ghost thing, whatever the hell it is, was chasing me. Because like it's so easy and clear to see here now at the moment without adding that all over it. So yes, really, even though it is only 80p, this really is tedious in all honesty. There were some good ideas and some clever puzzles earlier on. But the amount of bugs and glitches where you saw it there when I fell through the map. That restart level button's there for a reason. You will be using it quite a lot if you try to plough through to the end. So anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch the video, gang. I hope you found the video useful or interesting in some way. And as ever, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to let me know you're live. And I shall see you next time. Bye now.